What's up everyone, Toshi here. So today I want to talk about my plan for Honkai Star Rail as the game does release now, because I've had time to think about it. We did release a video like this maybe about a week ago. It was like one of our first videos, maybe like 2 weeks or so. And I had time to sit down and actually think about it. I took a lot of things into consideration. I also did look at a couple of leaks that I will not be mentioning, of course. I don't mention any of that. It's just, I don't think it's good to spoil anything for anyone. Anytime you play any, maybe you're new to the, gacha gaming, maybe you're new to any, like, games that have any type of, like, form of gambling. Unfortunately, the way to bypass a lot of the early, get characters early on in this game is reroll, right? Reroll is popular across multiple gacha games for the longest time ever, and I'm a fan of it. So my plan is to re-roll an account. I definitely do have some characters in mind. We could take a look here. One of the first characters I actually really do want to get is Bronya, because she's like really good from what I hear. She has like a CR push, a combat readiness, attack gauge push. Pretty much what she does is she gives like a turn to another character in your team, and I think that's really good. Not only for, it's not even just like meta slave, anything like that. I think it's just really good for anyone in their account overall. And she's waifu, right? She is one of my favorite characters of the Honkai Impact series. I play a lot of Honkai Impact. I have like every Bronya battle suit. I got like the newest one. It was Shut your so yeah, she's gonna be really good. She's gonna be a staple in my account. I'm looking forward to her. I definitely do want to pull as many copies of her as I can. My thing is, if I was to actually, so here's my thought process. If I got two accounts, right? The very first one had two Bronyas and one 10 pool, and the other one had like a Bronya and like another character. Let's just say this guy right here. A character I don't really care about much, right? In my mind, the right thing to do would be go for a new character over a dupe or another of one character, a constellation of Bronya, right? However, because I like this character a lot, I think I want dupes of this character. If this character ever has a banner, I think I'll probably summon on the banner. Even if she's like a standard banner character, I still probably will spend primal gems on stellar jades on that banner, just because I enjoy the character a lot. Another character on my list is Seal. So Seal has a lot of good synergy with Bronya. I'm talking like meta synergy, and she gives a turn to Seal, and then Seal can do like very nice nuke damage. I'm not sure if she gives an attack buff. If she does give an attack buff alongside an extra turn, well, you can see why she's really strong. Maybe what constellations Bronya gets, right? She gives like extra stuff, maybe like a crit damage boost or like a crit rate boost or something like that. Maybe. So I haven't looked at any, thing regarding the constellations or any leaks. I haven't looked at any of the central beta, the closed beta testing from the previous versions. But all I do know is that people have been saying that Seal and Bronya work really well together. And I think that makes a lot of sense, regarding the ship, canon or not canon, it pretty much is canon, right? I don't want to make anyone upset. But yeah, I think that having these two together would be really nice. And I think Seal might actually be the first banner in the game. We'll have to wait and see, right? None of this is confirmed. Anything could change, right? Anything is subject to change. However, I do believe that Seal is the first banner for 1.0 when the game does launch. I could be wrong though, but we'll have to wait and see. And Seal is a limited character, so remember that. Seal's limited. Bronya is not limited, right? So you won't be able to get Seal unless you summon on the limited banner, and that's going forward. Okay, next up, we did take a look at, well, in a previous video, right? We took a look at his kit, we took a look at some of the lore, and I was really impressed. Like, so impressed, I'm really considering having this character on my account overall. I think Weld is going to be really good for anyone that's looking to have any type of character to apply CC, slow effects, right? You put Welt with Bronya, and Bronya has the turn cycling you need in order to make sure that the enemy target never gets a turn, right? I think that's pretty strong, having Seal, Bronya, and Welt in the same team. I don't know how you could beat that. I think that's going to be really, really strong, and we'll have to see how that pans out. And remember, there is a banner in the beginning of the game that you can summon on that will give you a 5-star in like 40 or 50 pulls. Then this is like if you don't want to, reroll none of that, right? Let's say you're short on time, you're able to get one of these characters, one of these standard banner characters on a early, there's an early newbie banner, as I call it. You'll be able to get one of these 5 stars. So I wanted to mention that again, in case you forgot. And then Kafka, I wanted to mention as well, another character I'm actually looking for, and this is just pure waifu, right? Maybe she's good, maybe she's not. I don't fucking know. All I know is that she looks pretty damn good. She reminds me a lot of other characters from various animes, and she also has a very nice ultimate animation. I think it's probably one of my favorites, by far. She reminds me a lot of Deadpool. I like Deadpool. He's one of my favorite anti-hero characters. I like that a lot. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the release of Kafka. From what I heard, okay, now I could be wrong. I've heard that she's going to be in 1.0, right? People did get her in the last beta, if I remember, and so that means she should carry over to 1.0. That could change, of course, right? But if things are staying the same, she will be in the same version as Seal, right? So, oh my god, dude, I'm not gonna have any Primo Gems. I'm not gonna have any Primo Gems, but yeah, I'm looking forward to her a lot. Okay, so while we're on the topic of characters summoning and characters, to pull in the account, I also want to mention that, like I said before, Primo Gems, this is called Stellar Jades in this game, of course, but also this is a good time to talk about the currency accumulation in this game. So if you ever played any other gacha games, right, maybe you played Genshin Impact, maybe you played other, mobile games, right? I know a lot of people remember me from Artery Gear Fusion, and you know how generous the early game was. It's usually the same for every game, right? The early game, you're able to get a lot of summon currency, a lot of currency for your account to progress the account from early to mid to late game, and that usually is the same across the board. And as you do progress your account into the mid and then towards the late game, usually the actual currency that you do accumulate drops. I mean, it drops off a cliff. And then the currency you get in the late game first, let's say summoning, right? Summoning characters, rolling characters on the banners. That usually is in the form of repeatable content. And we'll get into the repeatable content, in the video. This is a long video already, holy moly. But what I'm trying to say is I want to, be mindful of the currency that I am getting in the beginning of the game, right? It's very important to actually understand if, maybe you played Genshin, right? And you know how easy it is to fall for hype, right? People hype up a character and they're like, oh my god, you got to get this character is so good. And then we all summoned for a character we really didn't need because there's no in-game in Genshin, right? We all cleared the Spiral Abyss relatively easily with no struggle, with 4 stars even. And we got characters we never really even needed in the first place. All those Primo Gems wasted, right? I don't want to make that same mistake I made in Genshin, so I'm going to be more mindful of the Stellar Jades I'm going to be getting in Honkai Star Rail, just so I don't have a regret for any characters I do end up summoning on my account. Now, however, if you are a character collector, fuck what Toshi's saying right now, do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? But me personally, I know that I am a pity monster. I hit pity every single time I summon on banners, so I know that I'm not gonna get, characters, out the wazoo. So maybe mindful of the, the characters I do summon for, because every single little Stellar Jade, I almost said Primo Gem again, every single little Stellar Jade matters, right? Matters. So as you can see on the screen here, Honkai Star Rail does have a Spiral Abyss form like Genshin does for the in-game or the, the repeatable content, whatever you want to call it. And so you probably will need, so right now you can see floor 1 through 6, right? And you only need 1 team for that. Now, as you do get to the later stages, I'm sure you probably will need 2 teams like you do already need in Genshin Impact. So my goal is to have 2 teams, of course, to be able to clear that content. So I want to build a team around the Bronya Seal team probably. And then the second team I'll probably have maybe Kafka, something else of some sort with and what I'm trying to illustrate here is that it's going to be important for any new player to look for any type of synergy you can have with the 4 stars in the game, right? Maybe you're able to save on Primo Gems or Stellar Jades. You don't have to summon for many characters because the characters that are already in the game might be able to clear the content. And I think that's going to be something that I also have to take upon myself to test, is to see how good the 4 stars are in this game versus how they are in Genshin Impact. We know that Bennett and Shang Ling are broken, right? Sing Shou, I mean, just god tier. I still use to my Hu Tao, or when I, of course, did play Genshin, and even with the release of Yuan, he was still good, right? He was still cracked. and you use both of them okay, Toshi, you're going off sidetracked here, but what I'm trying to really illustrate here is that it's going to be important to see how good the 4-stars are in this game, right? And how well they'll be able to translate into the late game. Maybe you can use them on your account to be able to clear the hard content, because you'll probably need 2 teams to clear this form of repeatable content, just like in Genshin Impact, right? So I want to have two teams, like I said before, and we'll see how good the 4-stars are. I probably said that like 10 times. Oh yeah, and since this is a form of repeatable content, you probably will also get stellar jades when you do it every I'm guessing it's like every 2 weeks. It resets, maybe every week. I don't know what the cycle is going to be as of right now. So you'll probably get, the stellar jades, as you complete it each time, and that's gonna be really nice. I think for a lot of players, that's any type of currency we get in the late game is just always gonna be a plus. No matter how you slice the cake, right? Because as I said before, the currency does dry up. And if you're going to be saving your resources until late game, like me, for instance, not only just the stellar jades, but they might be the form of resin, right? The trailblaze power, right? The trailblaze power, maybe they give us fragile, trailblaze power, like they gave us fragile resin in Genshin Impact, and we could use that trailblaze power at a certain point in the game, certain level, to be able to farm better relics, artifacts, right? Better artifacts for our characters, and be able to, get stronger stats and have a stronger account overall. Maybe that'll be the case, right? And they give us, trailblaze power as we do level up, right? Because I know that Genshin Impact had like the resin for AR rewards, right? And other forms of rewards they gave it in, like the handbook guide, whatever it was. Maybe Honkai Star will have something like that as well. Like I said before, I have little to no knowledge about the resources they do give out in terms of stuff like that, the trailblaze power, resin little thingies. So we'll have to wait and see how much they give us, but I think it'll be very important to actually just save it for the late game, because from what I heard, a lot of the stuff in this game is pretty similar to Genshin Impact. So that would be a no-brainer. Lastly, I want to illustrate that for me, and I'm not saying you do this with your time, but I want to have multiple accounts. I think for the first one, I want to have a free-to-play one to make it as relatable as possible, to be as knowledgeable as I can, to give you guys the best information that I can, to the best of my ability. I also do want to have a light spender, so like maybe that, I know this game does have the $5 pack, the monthly thing, like in the Welcome Moon in Genshin, pretty much. I know that Honkai Star Rail does have that. I also do know that there is a battle pass, so I'll probably get that on one of the accounts. And then, depending on how well this channel does, maybe I'll consider whaling, although I'm not a fan of whaling. I used to whale in Genshin. I don't think whaling is good. I'm always against it. That's kind of why I promote the free-to-play, gameplay, because I think whaling is just always bad no matter how you slice the cake, and I really think it'll probably be unnecessary to even whale. There's no PvP in this game, right? As of right now. I say as of right now because, Summoner's War in Epic 7 also didn't start, the game with real-time arena or ultimate arena, whatever you want to call it. And eventually the RTA, real-time arena, ended up being installations in those games at a certain point. So maybe Honkai Star Rail, a year or two from now, could have a real-time arena game mode. We never know. But yeah, that's pretty much going to end the video here. I hope you all got something out of this. That's going to be my plan as we do get to the release of Honkai Star Rail. And I believe most of this will change as we get more information, or as I do. Like I said, if I get into the beta, right, nothing is guaranteed, but if I get into the beta, I will definitely give you guys the best information I can possible. We'll have a whole bunch of guides and everything, and I will most likely update my plan to begin with, because it makes more sense as I do understand fully, what the early to late game progression looks like and how much currency you get, for instance, right? But yeah, that's gonna do it. Thank you all for watching, and have a nice rest of your day. Oh yeah, of course, if you have if maybe you relate to my plan or whatever, let me know. I'm always curious to hear, and I always respond to everything, right? But yeah, that's it. Thank you all for watching, and have a nice rest of your day. Peace.